What I bring today is a summary of Chapter 5 of the Art Therapy Handbook, Image in Art Therapy. This chapter explores in detail the role of images in art therapy, including its symbolism, creative process, medium use, impact on mental health, and cross-cultural factors. Through several case studies, it shows how images can help patients express emotions, explore the subconscious, and gradually achieve self-awareness and emotional regulation during treatment. I will summarize the following points. First of all, the role of image in art therapy. The symbolism of the image in art therapy carry emotions and thoughts, connecting the subconscious and the conscious. It symbolizes the past, present, and future of the individual, bridging the gap between the individual's inner world and the external reality. Through the creation of images, unspeakable emotions and conflicts can be expressed, recognized, and processed. The duality of the artistic experience. It encompasses both the inner experience, the individual's expression of his or her own emotions, and the external aesthetic experience, the visual presentation of the image. Through artistic experience, therapists are better able to enter and understand the patient's world and establish communication with them. Here we have some case studies. The creative process of a young male. This case describes the development of the work by a man in his 20s in art therapy. The work initially presents the image of vomit, symbolizing his inner confusion and the feelings of rejection. Later, he transformed the content of the work into food and added another hand to feed himself, symbolizing self-repair and growth. Eventually, he covered the piece with a transparent film to make it look like a sparkling jewel that represent a transformation of emotions and a new perception. The psychological meaning and symbolism of image. How image promotes self-understanding. Images carry and reflect the patient's thoughts and emotions. During the creative process, patients can gradually explore and understand their own emotions. The symbolic structure of the image, especially on Freud's theory. The human mind is divided into primitive process and secondary process. Secondary process, orderly, rational way of thinking, mostly express thought language. The primitive process means the non-verbal, non-linear symbolic expression. The image falls into this category. The content changes in the image. The image in art therapy are constantly changing as the treatment progresses, reflecting the patient's emotions and self-perception at different stages. Let's move to the use of different materials and media. First of all, the diversity of materials. A variety of materials are used in art therapy, such as clay, paper, crayon, paints, model materials, and etc. Different materials are able to express different mental states and emotions. Here we have three cases. The broken clay cup for a 5-year-old boy. The boy finds that the clay cup he made is cracked and feels pain and disappointment. This symbolizes his inner vulnerability and sense of being hurt. Later, he decided to mend the cup with paint, symbolizing efforts to repair itself. Sculpture of a 16-year-old silent boy. A long silent teenager has made an image of a sphere in his hand through the sculpture, which symbolizes his achievement and the growth of self-confidence in therapy. Sculpture of a woman in her 20s. She created a statue of a little girl and ended up wrapping it in a box, symbolizing the memory of her decade sisters and the mourning that could not be complete. The next part is the symbolic transformation of the image. How images convey complex emotions. We all know that images in art therapy are not only visual presentations, but also a deep symbolic expression. Different symbols can represent the patient's state of mind, such as the transparent film that covers the work, a symbol of protecting oneself from emotional harm. From vomit to food, represents that transformation and growth of inner conflict. We also have some case studies. It's about the influence of dreams. A man makes a strange fruit out of clay, symbolizing his inner fear and anticipation of the unknown. His creations are inspired by dreams, reflecting the influence of the subconscious on the real world. The role of figurative and abstract image. We have the figurative images and abstract images. The figurative images means originating from the subconscious. They symbolize emotions and personal experience, and the abstract images means the rational and often used to express concepts and ideas. And here we also have a case studies. Castle image of a 10-year-old boy symbolizes the change in his internal defense mechanism, and also have a baby image of a teenage girl. Embodies her longing for childhood and dependence. The creative process and psychological meaning of the image included the value of chaos in treatment, and we also have some case study here. The chaos of artistic creation can reflect the patient's inner emotional disorder, and also thought the free use of materials patients can explore, express, and control their emotions. A repetitive behavior of a girl with anorexia. She shows her desire for control and anxiety by constantly scraping off the clay. A water play for a boy with autism. He finds a sense of security by playing with water and gradually adapts to the therapeutic environment. The relationship with the meaning of the image is also very important. So let's talk about how image can facilitate therapeutic relationship. The patient-therapist relationship is reflected through the images. We have some case studies. The elephant image of a 13-year-old girl. The elephant man she created symbolized her family relationships and self-identity. So we can see that the relationship is very important. And also, the boy symbolized self-defense through the castle. Through the change in the image of the castle, he gradually lets go of his psychological defense and builds trust with the therapist. The last one is the impact of cultural difference on art therapy. The cross-cultural art therapy is very important because with the formation of global migration and multicultural societies, art therapy needs to consider the needs of patients from different cultural backgrounds. Some religious and social taboos affect the creation of images, such as the limits of Islam on figurative depiction. For example, the iconism. So, also the prohibition of violent imagery in prison setting. So, in today's chapter, we know that images in art therapy are not only tools for personal expression, but also symbols of emotions, psychological changes, and therapeutic process. Through different mediums and symbols, patients can better understand themselves, express their subconscious, and build a trusting relationship with their therapist. Cultural context and social environment influence the practice of art therapy. The therapist needs to be sensitive to the needs of different groups. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next chapter.